The AllMadeUp podcast is brought to you by airdrop.ai, the tool that allows you to generate passive income through using airdrops.
Hairdrops?
No, airdrops.
But what are airdrops, Harry?
Airdrops are free incentives from cryptocurrencies which reward you for using and interacting with their application.
Right, so you're telling me I can set up a new revenue stream today?
Exactly that. If you go to airdrop.ai and sign up to the whitelist, you'll get invited to the private beta.
Well, I better go and do that.
And so should you at airdrop.ai. Sign up, make some money.
Do you know where Lewis is?
Yeah, he's probably signing up. At airdrop.ai.
It's all made up again. Yeah. It's all made up again. It's all made up again. It's all made up again. Oh.
Hello and welcome to the AllMadeUp podcast with me, Harry Stachini.
Me, Lewis Coleman.
And me, Ben Hart.
The show where each week a guest joins us in the writer's room to create a story like you and we have never heard before.
Not quite knowing what's around the corner or what we'll find along the way, as this podcast is exactly what it says on the tin.
It's all made up.
You've had the AllMadeUp
Yeah.
so consistent for the last three ones. I like it, but I'm expecting like Spanish, Portuguese.
Yeah, or just a variation. We haven't had anything for ages.
Well, you guys say the same lines every week, so
Yeah,
let's-
well,
the
I-
yeah,
pressure
but
on me.
you've got the lowest amount of lineage,
yeah,
so we expect
okay.
more from you.
Right, I've run out of languages to this that I can say.
We've only done 3.
Yeah, but that's all I know. I've tried English, American, Australian.
American.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Well, hello everybody watching, listening. Hope you've had a fantastic Easter because we're recording this on the bank holiday Monday after the Easter weekend. We've had a belter. I've had a good one.
I have a good one as well.
Yeah. Did you get lots of eggs?
Not as many as I used to. I'll be honest with you. I don't really get that thing when parents say to you, "Well, I'm going to stop giving it. You're old enough now." I was like, "Well, I still like chocolate."
Yeah.
So yeah,
I've not been and picked mine up from my mum and dad's.
I didn't get. You got me. You're the only person to get me chocolate, and it was like the eggs that came within an egg that you gave me.
Yeah, well, it was from Clem's Easter egg hunt that I did.
There you go.
So
see?
yeah. But we did try and go
I
on
appreciate it though.
Yeah, but we went to go and buy you an actual Easter egg on our way to Monton.
Well,
But
Bloody
no.
hell.
who's this? Is this our guest for today?
this is our guest for today. Let's have a see. All right, Patrick.
Hello, hon. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, Sam. Thank you. We're actually recording your intro right now, so you're on speakerphone, and I liked how you answered the phone.
God, hope you're saying good things, hon. Hope you're saying good things.
Are you here now?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you at like a big industrial mill?
Yeah, and I'm by a door with a big sign that says open.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, I'll be down in 5 minutes.
All right, no worries.
All right. See you soon. Bye bye.
Right, bye.
That's brilliant.
That's our guest for today.
Yeah.
That is, you've just heard Patrick Price, who is our guest, and he's going to be on his way up soon. I'm going to go and get him. But he is, just to sort of interject, 'cause it feels nice to sort of
I think
segue
we should.
into
Yeah.
that. Patrick Price is an actor who I met at drama school, doing a lot of stage acting at the moment, but he also featured in mine and Clem's final project, where we had to create like a piece of theatre or film or whatever. So we created a sitcom called Drama is Drama, where we have like, obviously it's about drama students, but obviously how they're a bit up themselves and like how they take.
I know he is. You showed it me.
Oh yeah, I did show it. Yeah,
Is it him?
He's the teacher in it.
Nah,
Yeah, he's the teacher
that's
in it.
sick, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got him in. But yeah, I'm dead excited. As you can hear, he's already a bit of a character.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I've not spoke to him in the flesh in a while, so it'd be good to see what he's been up to. But yeah. But anyway, apart from that, that's our guest for today.
It's our guest
What
for
was you going to say about? Oh yeah, I was saying Easter eggs wise.
Yeah.
I was trying to buy you one. We were trying to buy you one, but it was shut. So
But I appreciate the one that I did get. You know, I got half an egg, which was like a Reese's Pieces. I got a tiny little lint egg, and then I got a Malteser bunny.
you know what? Deceiving that it's a Kit Kat bunny, but I thought they were Malteser
Oh,
bunnies
right.
as well. Kit
it?
Kat
Well,
bunny.
there you go. Look
yeah,
at that.
I tricks you that.
yeah. Easter egg hunt. Do you not do an Easter egg hunt?
No, mate, I didn't. I was too busy. Being a grown up. But no,
I do one for Melissa.
see,
yeah.
that's lovely. You know what I mean? You've got that dynamic with
You
you.
could have done one for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have like done it and like whack yourself in the head.
Me like really leaning into. I don't know where they are.
I would love to be able to fly on the wall of you doing that in your house, putting them out the night before, and then just trying not to remember where they are.
That'd be funny. No, we because obviously when I did my Easter egg hunt today, I did it today actually, a bit late I know, but that's just like me. Watching time at my lifetime because we went on this big walk the other day. None of us could really bed down, so I hid them all at like
eye level.
eye level. I don't live in a big flat, so they were like, "Oh, they're both on the shelf."
Yeah,
So like,
just sellotape to the walls.
so I'm not bedding down for that.
Yeah.
Lowest I got was the bed. I was
Yeah.
like, no.
How many eggs did you hide?
9?
All right, and did all 9 get found?
I think so.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, how many eggs did you hide?
Well, there was 29 things to find.
29.
Why 29?
Well, because the reason. What was that then? What was that?
Alexa just chipping in.
Yeah, everyone's chipping in today.
Did you do an Easter egg hunt?
Yeah.
That's too many. She was saying it.
So one was like the actual egg, which I had in front at windowsill. But then I got like 3 packets of like the Reese's Pieces, Lindor mini egg things,
They were good
and another one, and then like hid them around the house. So it was all tiny.
That's nice.
And a cream egg. So
That's
I
really
did-
thoughtful, that, Lewis. That's
yeah,
nice.
I do that every year.
Do you really?
Not always 29. Like I'm not like particular about 29
It's a
weird number.
items. Yeah. But yeah, went down a treat, and then I had an Easter egg hunt upstairs. Clem's was downstairs, mine was upstairs.
How many
Just
did she have?
separately. Separately on the hunt.
Yeah. no.
Neither one of you watching the other person find eggs.
Clem did her hunt first, and then I went and did my hunt upstairs.
Yeah. So you basically tidied the house of chocolate.
That's nice. I think that's really thoughtful, Lewis.
Yeah.
I wish I was that thoughtful.
Yeah. Well, this is it.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
You didn't get either of his eggs, did you, Harry?
No, I didn't get anyone an egg.
No.
No one an egg.
You didn't get anybody, not even like your nieces.
No.
I got my nephew in an egg.
Did you go into a supermarket, walk down the egg aisle, and just look at them? Did you contemplate at least buying an egg at one? But did you see them in the supermarket?
Well, they weren't
Yeah, of
club
course I
card
did,
price,
yeah.
were they? Probably like Christmas presents. They were like, oh, I'm not paying full price for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait for him next day on club
Yeah,
card
yeah.
or something.
Yeah, I did. Obviously, I walked past him.
And what was you thinking? What was going through your mind when you were walking past him?
That's a nice Easter egg, but I just thought, I'm not going to buy it.
I imagine as well. That is exactly what you thought. Yeah, that is a nice Easter egg.
That is a nice Easter egg. I'm not going to buy it.
Do you know?
That's your inner monologue.
That's how I think
Yeah.
it's in your head.
But yeah, you got it. You know what I mean? Moment on the lips, lifetime on the hips. You
What?
got it.
I try and guess what egg it was he was looking at. I reckon you was looking at.
Something with nuts in.
No, I think it was like a Lindor egg.
No, weren't it?
Wasn't it?
Was it not?
What was it?
It was a giant mini egg.
Was it?
Was it?
Yeah, a
I
giant
think
mini
it's,
egg.
that's basic. You're not basic. I thought you'd be.
Do you reckon what would be good, right? Because mini eggs are like obviously
Mini eggs are premium.
they are.
Oh,
top.
yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, when you get a mini egg Easter egg, it's an Easter egg with some little mini eggs usually
Yeah.
in it or in a
Yeah.
packet around it. What about a giant mini egg?
How
Yeah.
dense would that be? Though? Like that, you kill someone with
You
that.
could
Like
hollow it out and live in it.
the shell is like an inch and a half thick
Yeah.
before you even get to the chocolate. You know what I mean? So you sort of.
Yeah.
Carving knife.
Yeah.
I'd love that, and then the chocolate is like
Think
just
how,
full.
think how heavy it would be.
Yeah.
Maybe for the next live show we do, we'll make one of them
Oh,
and slice it up.
When I was at school, we food tech at Easter, we made Easter eggs, our own Easter eggs. Like the design teacher did like a little plastic,
a little mold.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you like painted chocolate on, let it obviously cool, and then you do it again and again.
Yeah.
And they were like wafer thin, you know what I mean? But
Satisfying though when you're peeling it out of the.
yeah,
Yeah,
unreal. But
Yeah.
chocolate's superb. I had a little
I'd be down as a chocolate
Easter
fan.
egg nest today. You know what I mean? Like a homemade. It was like chocolate. It was basically them. What are they called? That breakfast cereal. It's like lowers your cholesterol.
Special care.
No.
Granola.
No. It's like hay.
Alpen.
It's like hay.
Shredded wheat.
Shredded wheat.
Shredded
Yeah.
wheat.
Shredded wheat covered in chocolate, made into a bird's nest with 4 mini eggs on top.
Not me sick shredded wheat. I always think, I'm about to try these and give them another go. Hanging.
Mate,
Nathan.
cover them in chocolate. Unreal.
No, was it Weetabix with our Nathan? I think it was Weetabix. You go around his house.
Yeah.
And he'd have like 4 Weetabix. But what he'd do is put milk on them and then smush them up, so it's like
Oh.
a paste.
Yeah.
And I was like, how can you do that?
I to be fair, I
I ate them dry, me.
no water.
No, that's how I ate them when I was younger. I didn't
Really?
used to put milk on my cereal.
If
Oh,
you,
you put my sugar out.
I didn't like them being wet. I didn't like my cereal
they're,
being wet.
they're so dry. If you drop your iPhone in the toilet, you should put it in a box of Weetabix.
Yeah.
And it'll fix it. I like the little mini Weetabix, mate. Cereal in general, big fan of. Love it.
I'm into porridge hype at the moment. Porridge, I like Alpen. I like porridge.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, Wheatles with chocolate milk.
Mate, unreal.
They were
I used
top
to
tier.
have 3 bowls in the morning, 3 at night. I was a fucking unit.
bowls in the morning?
Absolute unit.
Did you? I bet you had one of them bowls with straw, which were
It was a Perspex glass bowl, right?
and you had 3 big bowls.
Yeah,
on it.
mate, I'd go for a family boxing day and a half, right? My mum would have to hide them. I absolutely...
What, we get aggressive or something?
just battered Wheatos, but I was...
Bacon is good for me, but it's like Wheatos. Wheatos are good for me, okay?
Yeah,
Three
loved-
in the
mate.
morning, 3 at night.
Loved it. And it's just obviously just full of sugar. And then I moved on to Cookie Crisp.
Cookie Crisp. The thing we're right. I remember Cookie Crisp coming out and the advert for it, and it was like a rabbit on it, I think, or something like that.
Fox.
Was
It
it
was actually not a fox, a wolf.
a wolf?
It was a wolf, yeah.
And
In
I
a
remember
suit.
watching the advert and thinking, that looks good, that. And I always loved the idea of it, but I get it, and I'd never really liked it. I didn't think it was that good.
You had to eat it quick.
Golden Nuggets.
Yeah, got Golden Grahams, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a top level cereal, that.
Yeah.
Frosted Shreddies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I still eat, Frosted Shreddies and Frosties now.
Yeah.
If I have my breakfast, I'll have porridge or I'll have Frosties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Milk.
It's loads of sugar in them, that's the only thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I stopped eating cereal.
Yeah.
What's the worst cereal?
Worst cereal? Probably Weetabix.
Bran flakes. Bran flakes.
You know what? I don't mind fruit and fibre or bran flakes, me.
No, it's better sweet, isn't it?
I don't mind if it's got fruit in it, but just bran flakes. Like cardboard, innit?
What about Rice Krispies? I never like Rice Krispies, me.
I like Rice Krispies.
Because once again, if you put milk on them, mush instantly. Don't like it. It feels like sick in me gob.
Anything you put a lot of sugar in it tastes nice, though.
Yeah.
Put enough sugar on something, it'll eventually taste nice.
Yeah.
What do you have with your porridge? Do you have it with milk and syrup or?
So milk.
Yeah.
So my process is a cup of milk to half a cup of porridge. Eat that up. Drop a bit of, not sugar,
Syrup.
syrup or what is it? Maple syrup. What's the other one?
Honey.
Honey. Oh,
Yeah,
honey. Yeah, maple syrup or honey. Eat that up and then
Yeah.
pop it in a bowl.
You know Melissa, she has it with salt.
Yeah,
Some
I've seen
people
that,
do.
Yeah.
I said, she's like, oh, salt. I said, if I want to go to prison, I'll commit a crime, girl. I'm not eating it like at home.
But also with porridge, I have to eat it quick because if it starts getting cold, it gets thicker and then it becomes like sick in your gob again. I don't like that.
Well, do you know what they have for porridge in Scotland?
You got a big thing for textures, you.
Yeah.
I am bad for texture.
I've never thought of it being sick in your gob though.
No, have you ever had a porridge drawer before?
Porridge drawer.
So in Scotland, they have in the kitchens, they have a drawer and they pour porridge into it and they let it dry.
Right, I thought you was going to say like it was like a drawer is in like a raffle for
No,
porridge.
no,
and they have like, they have
Not
like a porridge
It's
drawer.
like a drawer, and they let all obviously the moisture go out of it, and then they cut it out like flapjacks.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's like a thing they used to do. Yeah,
That's hanging.
must ruin your drawers. That.
I'm a big fan of a flapjack though. Just like
Yeah, same.
you know what I mean? Yeah. Right.
Don't like it with milk on them though. Like I wouldn't put milk on a flapjack because
No,
it's-
yeah, you get sick in your gob.
Yeah.
Sick in your gob. I'll tell you what, right, just before we get into the episode, right, if you are looking for a bakery, I've got the best recommendation for one in the Northwest. I'd go as far as that.
Is it
Greg's.
Greg, no, I'm going there with all the fucking paupers, right?
Oh, fucking hell.
so-
Don't sell fucking croissants. You're not interested.
Hey, you want to get yourself to Lim, right? Sexton's Bakery in Lim, absolutely top draw. You must have been there, you.
I've not, but I will.
So good,
I'll
honestly. So, wall of cake,
Are you
right?
getting paid like a sponsor for this? Yeah,
6th generation artisan baker, right? They are so on point. I had a cherry bakewell slice, right, about the size of that.
Yeah.
Big, mate, you could have like stopped a door with it, and it was so good, right?
It's also
bar.
artisan. You get some culture, lad. Come on.
Cherry
Yeah.
Bakewell, was it?
Is it artisan?
Artisan, yeah.
All right, well, either it's old bakery, but they're fucking
You're a
great.
teacher from private school. Would be ashamed of you saying artisan.
Yeah, artisanal.
Cherry Bakewell,
well,
though.
So good.
Did you eat the cherry?
Hey, mate, everything.
I want to ask you about.
First thing I ate. I want that one with the cherry.
Yesterday, I want to ask you quickly. How would you say the name of that place?
Congleton.
Congleton.
Congleton, yeah? We were driving to this walk the other day with Melissa. She went, oh, never heard of Congleton.
Congleton.
Congleton?
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, no, France, girl. How far do you think we've driven? I
Yeah.
was like, it's Congleton. She's like, I just don't think it's the obvious way of saying it.
Well, just on this note, just on bad spelling. So Harry did the copy again, and the
Fuck
episode, the episode for
You say, I know,
James,
don't you?
the episode for James was called Wigan Warrior,
Yeah.
and he'd spelt warrior WORI. So it was like the Wigan Warrior.
Oh, right.
That would have been a better episode. Just a lad from Wigan worrying about everything.
What's he worried about? Just everything.
Yeah. Galloway's is shutting down. He's worrying. Wigan
That's
worrying.
funny.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, I'm gonna have to go and get Patrick. So this is gonna be all made up with Patrick Price. Enjoy.
Just a little bit.
Patrick, welcome to the All Made Up podcast.
Hello, welcome. Welcome me.
Yeah.
No,
Hello to you.
it's nice to
for
someone to
my
welcome us as well.
That's what I should say.
What was that?
Thanks for my welcome.
Yeah.
I'm not welcoming you. I don't work here, by the way. Just a guest.
I like that. I like being welcomed then.
I do, yeah.
It was a nice change. That.
I love that when you introduce a guest, talks with his hands,
Yeah,
and it's
I've got-
welcome. You know what I mean?
No, it's like when you go to like your mum's and I'm always like, oh, thanks for tea. And she's like, oh, thanks for coming. You're like, actually, yeah. You know, I made an effort as well. Yeah.
I was saying about
It's nice to be nice.
just since you mentioned that, I told Harry about a bit I might start writing, for comedy.
Yeah.
And it was the fact that obviously my mum keeps saying to me at the moment, "Oh, we don't see you anymore. We don't see you anymore." And I'm thinking,
You're blind.
No, well, it's it's because obviously I can't
avoiding
afford to. I'm working too much. Like I've got to do too much work. And I said it's going to get to the point where I'm going to have to start invoicing family members to like spend time with them. It's like I'll put you in for an hour, but it's going to be like 30 quid. You know what I mean? I think there's something in that.
Yeah, but I think the amount of times we've been out, you're like, I'll just send you a Monzo. I'll just send you a Monzo for that. So,
Anyway, Patrick, what have you been getting up to these days, my mate?
What haven't I been getting up to, Hon? I've been booked and busy. No, I'm joking. I haven't. I've actually had quite a chill year so far this year.
Yeah.
Right.
2024's been really chill. A bit too chill, actually.
Yeah.
If anybody's hiring, I do it all: acting, painting, poetry, singing. No, I don't do any of those things. No, I've just been working. I do tarot reading. I don't know if you know this about
Do you?
me, Lewis.
You do tarot reading?
I would have
Yeah.
brought
This
my
is right up his
Oh,
street.
I would have brought my cards.
I got
Do you do tarot reading?
No, my mum's a witch.
Oh, I'm a witch.
She's well, my dad says she is, but always lands that
But
joke.
on,
Always lands that one.
At Christmas, we did Secret Santa,
Yeah.
and obviously I knew Ben was into sort of
Spirits.
the spiritual world.
Spiritualism, yeah.
Yeah, and so we got him some tarot cards, which we still not actually used on the podcast.
I've used them home.
Have you actually used
Yeah,
them?
yeah, I've used them home.
Right, Patrick, you tell us about your
Sorry.
story about this. So go on.
Well, I mean, it's something I've been doing for ages, but then a few years ago, I kind of took it professional as a little bit of a
Yeah.
side gig to my acting and whatnot. And, well, I say side gig, it's really not a side gig. It's a whole career inside of itself and actually goes very hand in hand with acting. But that's probably what I've been busiest with recently.
That
in
is
terms of this
so
year.
right. I've got so many questions
yeah,
here.
I've got
I
loads
know.
of fucking
I know you've got
questions. Yeah,
questions,
That's amazing.
but just like so, obviously, we met drama school back in we finished 2017. We met 2016, finished 2017. So when was it between like drama school and picking up this? Is it tarot reading specifically?
Tarot reading, yeah.
Right. And when did you just think this is, or did you feel like I've got like an impulse to do this?
drawn
or
to
something?
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
drawn to it.
Well, it's kind of always something I've been drawn to, and I'm a very spiritual person as well and all of that. But actually, I was playing a board game with friend of the pod, Jacob Butler.
Right.
In lockdown, I think, that kind of, I can't remember the name of this board game, but it's one about ghosts and all of this spiritual stuff. And it was lockdown. So I was like, do you know what? I want to do a course in this and actually like...
Yeah, learn about it.
Yeah, kind of go full in. And yes, I did that course and was then like, this is my job now. I'm going to
That's really
sell
cool.
this. And yeah, and then people started buying it. So I was like...
How often do people come to have the cards read? Or a reading, should I say?
Well, I mean, it's something I do pretty much every
You know what I
day.
mean? Yeah,
You do it every day. What, do you do it online or in the flesh?
Well, a mixture of both. Because
Right.
then I started doing it in the flesh, first of all, but then was actually approached by the world's biggest astrology app.
Really?
Yeah, and they were like, we are wanting new astrologers, tarot readers, all these people for our app. And yeah, it was kind of like, okay, this is interesting. Something I'd not done by that point in terms of doing it online. It had always been face-to-face up until that point. This was about 3 years ago. And then, yeah, and I still work for them. So actually nowadays, most of my work is for them online it's a lot easier than doing my face-to-face stuff.
Imagine.
Well, you can
So
just turn them off, can't you?
Is the premise
actually.
like with the app like? So like like the Nike fitness app, for example, you can sort of pick your trainer and who's going to is it the same as that? You go through like different people and you're like, oh, I want them to sort of do the tarot reading.
Yeah, exactly that. So you have like a list of all their astrologers and tarot readers and whoever else on the app, and you can file through, and there's like, we have all the info about ourselves, what we kind of specialise in or whatever, and then they pick you if they want to pick you, or they pick whoever.
Have you ever done a reading where later down the line, the person's come back and been like, "Oh my god, like that, and you need to do another one now." You know what I mean? Like that idea of, or is it like a one-time thing and then you never see them again?
No, that happens all the time.
Right.
Like most of my work is through regular clients who come to me every week on week, and
Yeah.
Did you know you were coming on the pod today already? Is
that
that why you were? That's why you were free this afternoon.
Yeah. I was like, cards.
What I want to know is like, what's obviously because I imagine you're getting paid if they pick you to sort of do the reading.
Yeah.
So what's like your USPs on the profile? How do you sort of like sell yourself on there?
Well, I kind of, with my tarot in general, I guess I sell myself as tarot being a form of spiritual therapy, but also the kind of version of tarot that I do can help anyone with anything, because it kind of detaches you from the emotional connection you have to your own life and helps you look at your life from a bird's eye view so that you can see exactly which path is going to be right for you or which solution you need to lean towards. And I also kind of, another USP, I guess, is that whatever the issue is, whether it's relationship problems or finance problems or whatever, I kind of pride myself on helping the person reveal the best in themselves.
Right. Yeah.
In all aspects of their life. So coming to me doesn't really solve just your immediate problem. It fixes your life.
What a lie.
Yeah.
No, but did you ever get
That's just going to get clipped to that.
Yeah. There you go.
On the pod, there we go. Tag Patrick in it.
We give you as a video to put on your thing.
That was delivered so nicely, that wasn't it?
Do you ever get any like backlash then? Because obviously, like people giving like advice, so like giving advice in any sense, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like people don't always want to hear it. So it's like, say if you really
I booked a session with you. I don't want to hear it, mate.
no, but like people sometimes don't want to know what's good for them, do they? Like,
Yeah,
say if you work with a partner and everyone around you knows they're bad for you, but you might not want to hear it because you know deep down it's true. But like, do you ever get like that sort of stuff? Like someone going,
no, I don't get the backlash because I do get people who come to me who are very skeptical and are very upfront about being skeptical when they start the reading, but I do kind of have this intro to my sessions really where I make it clear that whatever they get from this is on them. I'm doing the job they're paying me to do, and if they're not happy with it, that is a them problem. And I kind of guarantee them that if they are open to it and if they are ready to listen and if they are ready to change or feel inspired or face whatever it is that comes up, then they will get something really good out of it. But if they are not, then it's them that's the issue, because it is. Tarot is like all about energies, and if somebody comes and they've got a really closed off energy, then it's never going to work. And I say that as well at the start, because it's totally fine to be skeptical and stuff, so long as you remain open to whatever you're being presented with.
Push something that doesn't want to move, and you know what I mean. So I could, because I've never experienced anything like I've never encountered a spirit. I've had people in my family that have, and I don't think they're liars, but I think it'd be a weird lie to make up. But I've never seen it myself. You know what I mean? And I've never had that. I've never been in a situation where my sister saw someone where she rang them and they said, right, all I need is your name. That's it, and you'll be here in a week's time. And when she showed up, she wrote my sister a letter, and in the letter were all the details of what she basically spoke to her about in this meeting, and like really intricate details where you're thinking, you can't Google that, you know what I mean? And that's where I go like, well, how has that happened? But I've never thought to seek that out from someone.
I do find, obviously, like I grew up in a house full of like spiritualists and like obviously like loads of mediums have like obviously lived in been to loads of these sort of things, like even to the extent of going to like a bit of like a conference where you talk about like exiting your body, and like so angel metaton. You ever heard of that?
No.
Which is angel metaton's the angel that apparently takes you over to the other side, and there's like people who can link with that, like quite in depth. Like, so I 100% believe in it, but I have been to a lot of bad ones. So last Christmas, I was at this like spiritualist thing, and this woman was going, "Has anyone got a dead mother in here?" But it was like a room full of like 70-year-olds. So they were all like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was December, and she was like, "Is anyone getting a lot of parcels?" I'm like, "It's December 15th. Everyone's getting parcels. You daft bat." Like it's a so it's obviously that I think that sometimes ruins spiritualism, doesn't it? These sort
Totally.
But
of mad people, a Dokakora.
Yeah.
having said all that, the true love is still acting, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, it absolutely is. And
Yeah.
I mean, my tarot goes hand in hand with that because, you know, well, acting is the study of people, innit? And tarot is such an insight into people and such an insight into yourself as well. And there's so many skills that are transferable. And I also see tarot as an art form. So I see them as totally linked and intrinsic to each other, really. So my tarot work is also my acting work
Yeah.
Oh wow.
in a way.
Lewis said you do a lot of like stage work and stuff like that, theatre and whatnot.
Yes, I am a thespian.
That's ace. I think I'd if I got the opportunity to do like series theatre later in life, I'd definitely like to have a go at it. What do you prefer that to screen, or you know what kind of what would be your preference? Would you rather be in like a Hollywood movie or the West End?
I mean, that's really tough to say. I think had you asked me in previous iterations of my life, I'd have always said West End theatre. That's definitely the thing I fell in love with and that drew me towards acting. But now that I'm here and kind of, I think at this point in my career, I'm falling in love with screen work more and more every day, and I do screen classes now at the moment because it was something I really wanted to get more into and open my eyes up to a bit more and give more of a chance. And I'm glad I have because, now I could kind of... I mean, I've always loved film as well as theatre, so I really don't know. I think for me, at least where I am right now, the bit I get the most enjoyment from is the character creation.
Yeah. Well, you're in the right place.
Yeah,
You're in the right place.
yeah.
That's what we're doing a lot
Oh,
well, because I was going to say, because obviously me and Patrick, it was the Academy of Live and Recorded Arts it was called. So it was it was the sort of selling point for Alra was that it was theatre and film, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But obviously we had a different experience. I was on the Masters, Patrick was on the BA, and I didn't get on with the course. I thought it just... Especially like the film side, I just thought it was like so underwhelming. Like some of the stuff they had us doing was just... We had one session, right? Bearing in mind, like it's a good amount of money if it go to drama school when you're not doing it through like government funding or anything like that. And we did one film class, and what it was is we went to the canal, Wigan Canal. We had to go and find a stone. We had to run 60 yards towards the camera, and then throw the stone into the canal. And we did that for about an hour and 45 minutes.
Wow!
I couldn't tell you.
You keep missing the canal.
Yeah. We did that. The cameras, what we were using, were proper shit. They were always dying. It was a distressing time for me, that being doing.
It sounds it, mate.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Just being in Wigan is distressing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
to be fair, I think we've benefited on the pod of having all this great equipment because you suffered that awful stuff. So you're like, I cannot have anything bad that's going to turn off.
How did you find it? Because obviously, mine and like Clem's experience of drama school, I don't think was as positive as we would have liked it to be. But for yourself, how did you? Because I feel like you had a good group of people with you as well. Like you made some good friends who I see you with online quite a bit. So
Yeah, totally. I think as well, I got to do obviously it's 3 years for the BA as well. So I think that's also an added benefit of you do get a bit more time on each thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, I totally hear what you're saying and definitely, had my moments of like, what?
Yeah.
But overall, I'd say it was a really positive experience for me. And a lot of that came through the people I was surrounded with. Like, I met my friends for life there and people that are just like family now. And, there's kind of a group of us that are just like inseparable, really. And I imagine will be in my life forever. and I was fortunate enough to be in the year with them, and so that made a massively
makes a big difference with definitely people with acting out the equation. I know people who went to uni and just fucking hated it because they lived in shit halls and were surrounded by arseholes.
But like everyone, like that group in general, like I see there's so many good things happening, like with all the people, isn't there? Like it seems like Jacob's doing like really well on like the TV side of things now. Seeing Harriet, Jess Woodward still in the acting world.
Yeah, she absolutely is. She's smashing it.
Yeah,
Tom Sturgis,
Rhiannon,
she's at the National Theatre right now.
Yeah, she's done loads, hasn't she?
She's done. She's absolutely.
I think it's a lot more intense than you. I always say this, like no disrespect to anyone who went to university. So I went to drama school as well. Drama school. I went to Midlands Academy of Dance and Drama.
Right.
So more of a musical theatre sort of school. But I think it is different. Like the amount of hours that you're doing. I don't know how, because we used to be in 8 till 5 days a week.
That was
so you're suffering together. Like it's almost like, and it is that intensity as well, and that's why I think you build that stronger relationships, because university is like thousands of people at the same uni. So at drama school, there was 5 boys in my year, and them lads are like the 5 boys, and like I'm meeting one of them tomorrow. Like he's been on a cruise ship for 12 months. Like still some of the best friends I've ever had. Did you ever do animal work?
Yeah.
Did you do animal work?
Yeah. Warthog. Yeah, we said, what was you again?
I was a rhino.
Rhino, warthog.
Oh, nice. I was a giant tortoise.
Yes. Did you have to die in the end?
I was a legend.
No.
So we had to die. So we went through this whole process of like animal, and it's so weird, like to explain it, because the logic of it is that if I can convincingly be a rhino, I can be anybody. There was an actor, but yeah, we had to die in the end. We did a lesson where we died, and everyone was like crying at the end of it.
Did you get shot or something?
Yeah, I did get shot. I got shot. I got shot by a poacher. It's awful. I remember like being so upset. I was like, oh,
the tutor just above you, just cocking a fake rifle, just being like, go on.
That sounds like drama school.
Into you, Ben.
Yeah. Right, I reckon we get into it anyway. Should we get into it?
I think we should, yeah.
Right, so this is going to be All Made Up with Patrick Price.
It's all made up, baby.
So, Patrick, obviously, welcome to the All Made Up podcast. You are in the writer's room with us. You are our lead writer for today. We are your assistants. We're going to be helping you create this story. In front of you, you've got 3 pots. Green pot for start sentences, red one for end sentences, and yellow ones for like little prompts in between.
Right.
But before we jump into them, we're going to build a character.
Okay.
So what would you like your character's name for today to be?
And I could pick anything.
Anything you like.
We say right from what you know, though. It's easy if you like right from what you know.
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
Okay. Well, my character's going to be called Lord Professor Penile von Booth.
Okay.
Lord Professor Penile von Booth.
Right from what you know. I love that. Yeah.
It's an abstract version of what I know, but it's definitely what I know.
Yeah. Definitely got a bit of Dutch in him.
Yeah. Maybe a lot of Dutch in him, actually.
Yeah.
Penile von Booth. Right, okay. And what does this... let's shorten his name up for just for time's sake. So we're calling him...
PVB.
PVB, Penile von Booth.
Like Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah. What does he do for a job?
He is actually, his job title is philanthropist.
Oh, nice.
But in reality, his job is just sitting on his billions and billions of inherited...
Oh, right, so he's got inherited wealth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he...
Someone with a name like that, surprising.
Can we just quantify this amount? Like, we're talking hundreds of mils, or like...
Billions, he just said.
Oh, billions, right, okay.
Tens of billions.
Okay, so he's...
Astronomical wealth.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's his family money, though, isn't it?
Yeah, born into it.
Are parents still alive?
No.
I think if it's inheritance, mate, I think they're dead.
Yeah, but they've
Yeah,
trust
you are
all these
right.
people.
Yeah.
have trust.
I think I've said that before on a previous one with inheritance.
Yeah, I've definitely not said that bit to you, but that is definitely the
You
case.
asked a really personal question. Inheritance, then.
Right, so how old is Penile von Booth?
He's
PVB.
35.
35, right,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. And he doesn't work, obviously, but he's a I can't say that word.
Philanthropist.
Philanthropist.
Yeah, he basically gives money to organisations that he's passionate about, right? That and like business ideas. That's what that word means, right?
Yeah, you just do whatever you want, essentially, isn't it? You invest and do whatever you...
Yeah, like gives money. Yeah, gives all this money away, but doesn't actually do anything.
Right. Yeah. He's just like on the board of directors.
Yeah.
What sort of companies or like charities would he invest in? Like, who's he giving money to?
Yeah, what type of or industries? Like, I imagine with that amount of money, he's probably got like an F1 team.
What's an F1 do?
Formula One.
Formula One,
Formula One,
right? Yeah.
No, what are you thinking? What are you thinking he puts his money into?
Well, I feel like he comes from a long line of very successful people who did actually have jobs and do things with their lives. So I feel like he gives his money to scientific causes.
Okay.
Maybe there were some scientists in his family, but also political causes. Maybe there were politicians in his family.
Right, okay.
It always works like that, don't they?
Is he left or right wing?
Well, I actually feel like PVB is unsure of his politics. I feel like he comes from a long line of right-wing family members, but he himself is actually striking me as someone in a bit of an identity crisis.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so I don't feel like he knows where he sits.
He's on the fence.
Yeah.
I like
He's on the
that,
fence.
and I like the idea if he's inherited money and his family was right-leaning, I imagine them parties are still coming to him asking for money, and he's unsure whether or not he wants to give it.
Listen,
you know what
Rishi.
I mean? They're so used to like getting like maybe a mil or two each year to help with the campaign. Go on.
Listen, Rishi. Okay, I'm a bit on the fence. I don't know what I'm doing with my money. Okay,
Rishi's like, oh, I'm just a little fucking weasel.
exactly that. Exactly that. Yeah,
It was like he was in the
I'm just a
room.
little posh little fucking weasel. I hate Rishi Sunak.
Right. So,
Want him to die.
But does Rishi impersonate himself
Me
to PVB?
I hate rich people, you know that.
Yeah, mate, you had two boats. Right.
I hate myself. It's a projection, is what it is.
So, right, he doesn't want to
Do you want
give.
me to tell you what cracks me up every time? I write in almost ineligible writing on here, and when I'm writing, you're always reading what I'm saying after we've just said it.
Yeah, no, mate,
How old is he? 35, and I'm writing it, and you're going.
Yeah, just double checking. Just double checking.
You know, like on Countdown when they have to prove that they've actually worked out the sum.
Yeah.
That's you. That. Yeah. 35. You happy with that?
I think it's mad as well that he can't remember her name any week, but then PVB is fine. He's just like PVB.
PVA.
Yeah.
Very similar, you're right.
Exactly. Right.
Go on.
Is he loved up? Has he got any type of,
Relationship.
yeah, side bitch?
No, he's actually incredibly alone in his life. And this is part of the problem, I think. He's kind of got all these ideas about who he should be from all of these influential family members that have gone before. But actually, he's really unsure of who he is and is very isolated, I feel.
Well, it's hard a bit, isn't it? When you've got that much money, it's hard to know that someone's with you because they're with you for you, rather than just for your money, I imagine. I imagine he gets a lot of people trying to be with him because...
Rishi Sunak.
He's the side bitch.
Rishi, put your cock away.
God. I bet you wouldn't even know it was out.
Yeah.
I'm just a little weasel.
Yeah, I'm just a little weasel.
That's how he actually talks. It's just a facade when he's like presenting to the country.
It's actually Rishi Sunak's cock talking.
God, that'd have such a high-pitched voice, his cock, wouldn't it?
Right. Yeah. It's
It's
got,
actually, you've thought about this a bit better.
got a little tie on.
Yeah, it's got a tie on. Yeah. What I was going to say is, what type of car does he drive?
Well, he has every car that you can imagine
Right.
at his disposal in his garage. But again, that's not something that sets his soul on fire.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually have to travel anywhere very often. And this is just another one of the passions that has been passed on to him that he has no interest in.
Yeah.
I get the impression it is consume as much as possible to try and see if that's going to fill the void that he's got inside him. So maybe this story could be him trying to, just as an idea, him trying to figure out what that missing piece is,
Yeah.
Just as an idea. If he's completely lost in himself.
At the moment, he's isolated in a manner. Like he's got no relationship with
Thousands
anybody.
of Tories outside his gates.
Trying to get in. Go on, lend us some.
Take all the money off all the people. They've got nothing left.
Right, okay, I'm liking this. I'm just trying to think if there's what in terms of like appearance. What are we thinking appearance wise? What is he wearing?
Well, this is one place he does know himself.
It's very fashionable.
Yeah, he knows how he likes to look and how clothes make him feel. So I see him, generally speaking, at least on the day we arrive at his manor on this story, he's wearing a very long velvet purple
Love that.
cape/dressing gown number.
Right.
It's like a dry robe.
Yes, like a dry robe. Very illustrious though, over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Has he got a tash?
he does not have a tash, but that's a choice. When you look around his manor, you see all the paintings of his ancestors, all with the signature ridiculously wealthy person tash.
Yeah.
Right.
And to be frank, a tash has just never gone with anything he wears.
Right.
So he has no tash. Underneath this illustrious gown, he's completely naked.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
Whereabouts in the country is it set as well? Just though. Or in the world. It could be anywhere in the world.
His manor is on a undisclosed private island off the coast of the British Isles that is unreachable by any method other than helicopter.
Okay.
It's like
or
Fort Boyard.
submarine.
Has just a quick one. Has he ever left the island? Does he know what life is like outside of this, where he's grown
I
up?
know.
That's a good question. I'm going to say no, he hasn't left the island.
Because I think this is a big part of it, isn't it? It's like if he's never just a little vibrate there, pal.
I've just buttoned me, mum.
God, I tell you,
Yeah.
I tell you, once my phone went off for this podcast, I got shamed. There's been 2 phone calls going happen today, and I've not said a thing. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm liking this. So has he been in the chopper?
He's never been in the chopper.
He's fucking got one.
Yeah.
He just sits in it. Yeah. Look at that. One day I'm going to take off in this.
Yeah.
No, I feel like where he spends most of his time, because he's also got a fascination with the occult.
Right. Okay.
And I feel like where he spends most of his time is in the dungeon of this family manor, around a circular table where there's skeletons propped up as though they're other humans, and they're the conversations he has
Right.
with these skeletons. But obviously they never talk back, and that
Yeah.
hurts.
So he's a
So it's
nut.
like, yeah.
And that hurts.
Are all the skeletons former politicians?
Yeah.
Is it like Maggie Thatcher?
No, it's Labour politicians.
Oh,
It is,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like, the skeletons of ridiculously famous people who, he had the wealth to buy their remains. And
Elvis Presley.
Yeah, I like the idea of
Elvis.
the remains of famous people being bought so that the skeletons are
Yeah.
in the basement. I like that.
Tutankhamun.
Well, he probably lacks a bit of talent, doesn't he? I think that's what a lot of people who've got loads of money often actually lack talent, and that's what they struggle with. So they attach themselves to people who've got talent, and then they become part of that movement. He's got loads of money.
But once again, is that are the skeletons his purchases or them of his like parents and ancestors over time? Like, is he someone who would buy the remains of a famous person, or is he just sitting with the ones that are there? Does that make sense?
I feel like they're his purchases.
Right.
And everything around him is kind of accumulated over these years, but that's like the one thing he gets because he wants to feel close to some sort of achievement. I feel like because his dad was a famous scientist and his granddad was a famous politician, he feels like he's...
Maybe there's an element of him trying to get in touch with the spirit world of these famous people and being like, how did you achieve that sense of fulfillment?
Yeah.
Just as an idea, you know what I mean? He sounds a bit of a creepy fuck, mate, if he's in a purple robe in a dungeon surrounded by a load of bones.
One being his own.
Just chopper.
I read a story this week about a guy who found a skull in his field. He was a farmer who found a skull, and he was convinced it was the head of Oliver Cromwell. So Oliver Cromwell's head went missing hundreds of years ago, and they tested it, and they were like, "No, it's not the head of Oliver Cromwell. It's the head of a kid." And he was like, "Yeah, but it was his head when he was a kid."
What? He said it was Cromwell's head when he was a kid, and he was trying to convince him again that it's still
Trying to convince
Cromwell.
the scientist that his head had like shrunk and gone back to like child size.
Wow.
I love that Oliver Cromwell's body kept growing, but his head just stayed at the side of a child's head.
So I just a funny story I read this week about this nutter.
I reckon we find out a lot about Penis von Booth there.
PVB.
PVB. 9 darters galore. But I reckon we start off with a green sentence there, Patrick. So if there's a blank, replace it with PVB or Penal von Booth.
Okay.
And say the sentence which follows. It's going to be the start of our story.
PVB, things that roundabouts...
Oh, thinks. There was probably a spelling error there.
Oh, okay.
Was it you there?
PVB thinks that roundabouts are spaceships about to take off.
Okay.
It's something that he could think that.
Could work.
It could work. Do you want to try another, and we'll go through and see which one we feel like fits
Sure.
best?
I quite like that one.
Yeah, that one
It
could
does
work.
PVB was allergic to music. Really, really allergic to music.
That's funny. That's funny, but I think that'll be a short story. And he dies.
Really, really.
That's why he's on the island.
He goes to Glastonbury and dies.
I don't want to hear a single fucking note.
He can go to festivals and just shut them down with the amount of money he's got, can't he?
Stop this!
Comes out in a rash.
No, I think it's like breathing.
Right, go on, let's do one more and we'll pick from the three.
Okie dokes. PVB always started their day with a succulent Chinese meal.
They're both funny. But I think they're short wins.
I think, right, you know what I reckon we do? I reckon we put them three down, Patrick, and then let's go for our end sentence as well. You know what I mean? And I think, let's just try that. So you pick up one of the red ones, Patrick. So this is where we're going to be where we're aiming towards.
They were finally mortgage free.
Right, okay.
That's irrelevant. He's got loads of money.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be him, though, does it?
Yeah, it could be someone else, but
Suppose,
keep it in the bag. Okay.
They decided to keep the dog.
Right. Okay. Not got a friend, looking for something, fulfillment,
Yeah.
potential. One last one, and then we'll pick.
So there she stood, naked as the day she was born, in a queue at a service station upper crust.
I like
that one.
I like that one.
I like that one.
Yeah. Should we go with that?
Yeah, that could be our end.
So that's the end. And the start is going to be what? This is obviously your story.
Yeah, you pick, Patrick.
So you pick.
I think I'm pulled towards the roundabouts.
Right, okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Have you got any ideas for the start? So I've got a bit of an idea, but obviously...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if and with this story obviously starting, okay, how long has he had this belief, would you say?
Since childhood.
Since childhood, right? Yeah. And where did it first originate from? Has he got a roundabout on his island, or is he, had he heard stories from the mainland, and he's like, why is there that many of them? What's going on?
Yeah, I feel like he's heard all of these random words and things from the mainland and has pieced together his own ideas of what they are over the years, because a roundabout to him is actually something totally abstract.
He doesn't.
He doesn't watch the news, doesn't have contact. I think his contact with the outside world was his parents and other relatives and people that came to the manor. So
yeah, he's been isolated, not left the island. So his idea of the world is what's been pieced together through other people's experiences.
Yeah. And his big thing could be, obviously, all his family have achieved great things. His big thing could be proving the existence of aliens.
It could be.
That could be his thing. Obviously, like the spiritual, the occult goes very much hand in hand with aliens and contacts.
There's also the possibility that he was abducted when he was a kid and he's not been able to say anything about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So he did believe.
He was probed.
The reason why he has that belief is because he either believes or he's imagined it's happened or it has actually happened. There's been alien life force. So.
Yeah.
You got a thought?
I like the idea of him being abducted.
Yeah, right. When he was a kid.
Yeah.
What do you think? I like the idea of him being abducted. It will explain a lot.
Look at the knob on him. Let's get him in here and figure out how do we recreate that.
What, massive or tiny?
Yeah, I know, massive chopper, proper chopper. I reckon when the spaceship opened to suck him up, they had to turn the strength of it to 10. Right?
It was up knob first.
Yeah.
I was gonna say up knob first.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And it's just as he's reaching the bottom of the spaceship, they just grab it and
come on, man. Or he can't actually get through the bottom of the spaceship, and it's just looks like a man mounting a machine. It's just come on, get him through. He's like, And then,
you also say he was a child at this point. So
say he's a teenager, 14. You know what I mean?
It's all right, that one.
Hey, everyone's pulling it at 14.
Right. So for the purpose of the story, has he imagined this, or did this actually happened to him?
This definitely happened.
Right. Okay.
But then he's heard the word roundabout from somebody else having a conversation, and the only reference point to anything round in his life that he has is this.
That's awesome.
Yeah, maybe
he has.
Right, if he's part of this cult, okay, usually they believe in some wacky shit, right? So he's been sucked up into the spaceship,
so to speak.
Yeah.
Sucked up and sucked off.
Yeah, exactly. Horrible that. But yeah, so these aliens have had hold of him, right? and
so to speak.
they fly
All
him.
within a podcast,
Yeah,
so to speak.
fly him around, showing him to different planets. Like,
So to speak.
and then when he's come back, he's obviously relayed everything that he's like what he's experienced, and people are like, God, this guy's like he must be, you know, from an outer world, like he's a messiah almost. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like maybe he's where we've caught him now. He is the head of this cult organization, lives isolated because of what he's learned when he was up in the spaceship. You see what I mean?
I'm vaguely. I don't know. Can you clear it up, Patrick, of what Harry's just said? As in, like, what's your interpretation of what Harry's just said there?
Well, I totally get what you're saying, but I think you might have picked up on the word cult, but
It's
I was on
occult.
about the occult.
Oh,
Like
sorry.
Which, I mean, I love the suggestion, but as the head writer, I'm going to have to shut that one down.
That's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine.
You said occult, he said occult.
Yeah, that's funny. Harry, get off the podcast.
I thought he said,
Imagine misunderstanding that. Do you want to be part of the occult? Oh, I love the occult. I love ghosts. So you end up in some like backyard in a little bit of nowhere. All these freaks. I'm sure he said occult.
Right, okay.
I thought he said Yakult.
I'm just hungry.
I was just trying to listen to me gut. So, what is he in the spaceship with them? Are we catching him before he's in the spaceship, after the spaceship? Like where?
I feel like this was an experience that happened many years ago, and yeah, it's something he's never forgot. It's kind of informed everything about who he is, but is also possibly something nobody ever took seriously when he told them.
They think he was a nutter.
Yeah.
Like if someone came up to you and said,
Mum, I got sucked up into a spaceship.
Yeah.
Cock first.
that was your uncle. He's just come back from Epstein's Island.
Hear about this. What about this then? So we've got a guy who's a multi-billionaire. He's been isolated all his life. His parents have finally died, and they were probably trapping him in the house as well and not letting him leave because they're like, this lad's a nutter. You know what I mean? Like he could ruin our legacy. Yeah. They've died. He's got access to the chopper, and his mission, so to speak, he's got access to it. And I think he could be like, right, we're going to fly off this island and we're going to go to different locations around the planet, around Earth, because obviously helicopters can't fly out space. Well, they're going around searching for roundabouts, but he's making occults because he's got the money to convince people, like, no, seriously, this happened, and maybe he gains a following. Do you know what I mean? And maybe this is his purpose. It's like, I can finally prove what happened, but we've just got to find the right roundabout.
Yeah, he's trying to look for, like, obviously it's a lot of like, so I watch a lot of UFO shows, and
Really?
Yeah, I Ancient Aliens is a favourite of mine. But like people, he's probably like now on socials going, who else has seen aliens near roundabouts? And he's collecting these people who've also had shared experiences,
Right.
Yeah.
And they've a lot of them are privately funded
What
by
about
like
if he
mad billionaires.
What about if he creates a party? A political party?
Yeah.
What, like, I feel like he's got the resources to make something happen, hasn't he? What does he want to do, Patrick? What does he want with this? Does he want people to believe him? Does he want to prove something? What is it he wants?
Yeah, I think he wants to share the message with the world that there is other life out there,
Right.
and make them believe him, because no one ever has.
I love the idea, right? What is coming to my head now, it's like, you know, like flat earthers and things like that.
Yeah.
But then they end up on like Joe Rogan podcasts and stuff. I like the idea of him going on all these like podcasts trying to convince people, like, and seeing what that interaction would be. So I think, let's imagine he's managed to get some traction.
Yeah.
He's flew over to the States. Joe Rogan's he's caught Joe Rogan's attention.
Yeah.
You're going to play Joe Rogan.
Okay.
You're on his podcast as Penis Von Booth.
Right.
And let's just see how that discussion happens.
Penis Van Booth, the great and powerful. How you doing, dude?
Yeah, good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for coming on. World's biggest podcast here.
There's those people smoking weed for no reason around him, isn't there? There's always
Yeah. As you know, I'm a pretty big UFO nut. I believe you had an experience a few years ago.
I did, yeah.
You were how old?
I was 7.
7. And you were pulled cock first up into a UFO, is that correct?
So to speak, yeah.
When you were in the spaceship, what did you experience?
Well, I actually didn't experience much inside the spaceship due to the girth of the chopper. I couldn't actually get in body first, you know, so there was only a certain part of my anatomy that did get in. But even so, these aliens managed to communicate with me telepathically. So while I was up there, I did actually hear a lot of things.
Awesome. And the things you heard, the things you learned, have they? Can you tell me?
Well, you see, this is where I've run into trouble a few times in my life. I have tried sharing these messages with others. So before I do share anything with you, I just need you to promise me one thing, which is that you will believe me.
Always, Joe Rogan. You know what I mean? DMT.
I'm off my tits.
Yeah. I do jujitsu. If anybody doesn't believe me, I just.
Have you ever watched Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
Okay.
If anybody does,
Because he's mad into UFOs, Joe
Yeah,
Rogan.
he's
Like,
massive
great-
conspiracy
yeah.
nut. Okay.
Right, so go on. You asked him a question.
So obviously this is a safe space. I have thousands of listeners, millions of people, big guests, and I do jujitsu. I roll. Okay. Jamie, get the video up.
Snapping his dam. Oh, look at that.
Could you tell us, please, what happened? No judgment.
So they told me that not only, obviously, is there life elsewhere on other planets, and has been for a long time, but they've actually been here already for millennia. They've been hiding their ships under what most people refer to as roundabouts.
Roundabouts. I knew. Jamie, play the VT.
It's
We have a video. We have a video here of
a roundabout.
Of roundabouts.
Are you pointing at it going, I told you they're there.
Yeah. Just it doesn't seem
Snapping
right.
somebody.
Yeah. Dude, that's heavy stuff. Heavy stuff.
I think you've got a challenge. I think Joe Rogan would challenge him though. Say, why have we never seen a roundabout take off then? What like, you need to challenge him.
Yeah, I think it's a government cover up. I think government agencies or Americans so out to the aware of this, and I think that's why people aren't talking about this. They're keeping it down low.
Yeah. There'll also be European aliens, wouldn't they? Because they have roundabouts in America or Australia.
Would you ask him who?
They're not.
They have just long highways and these massive.
They don't have roundabouts in
America.
That is mad.
No, that's why Americans go over here. They see a roundabout. You're just like, what the hell do I do with this?
Okay, no. All right, well, not even mini ones.
No, they'll build like massive multi-million
That
pound
helps the
interstates.
conspiracy.
Yeah.
Well, America's safe.
They used to have roundabouts, but they all vanished.
Yeah, that's when they kicked us out, the British out.
Maybe.
Okay, so where do you think they're gonna strike first?
Well, I don't think they are going to strike. I think they're already achieving their purpose, which is to integrate into our society. At least that's what they told me their purpose was. They don't want to destroy us from above. They want to separate us from within.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm just going to throw it out there. Is that why the Conservative Party are always at the manor trying to get money? Are they all aliens? And it's like, you know what I mean? Is there an angle there?
Maybe.
yeah. Oh, maybe that's
What
why.
are you thinking?
Yeah, they're all lizards in skin suits. And
Yeah.
actually, I've been thinking this for years about the Tories, so this is a real full circle moment.
Right, okay. I reckon. So we've had, obviously, it's now in the public domain, isn't it? It's worldwide. It's been on the Joe Rogan.
Hits have gone through the roof.
Through the roof.
And maybe that's why he's struggling to meet a girl as well, because he's convinced that these people are sending lizards to meet him
Yeah.
and seduce
think,
him.
Well, this is the thing. I think at this point, it's gone global now. People, I reckon, there's going to be pandemonium. Everybody going to the local roundabout.
Yeah.
Digging or like trying to like press the black and white chevron thing, see if they sort of
Yeah.
make something move.
Running
But
around, trying to spin it.
yeah, they're trying to spin it. Yeah. Let's get a prompt in. So if you pick up one of the yellow ones, Patrick,
Ooh, a prompt.
and then we're just going to integrate this into the story.
That was a good Joe Rogan impression, that actually.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
was good.
I
with
was
that.
good at that. I think it's one of the best impressions you've done.
Thank you.
Obviously, Tina Turner was your first one.
Dinah Ross.
Dinah Ross.
Dinah Ross.
I
Should have seen me, Dinah Ross, mate.
I
Superb.
couldn't tell who it was.
Go on, Patrick.
They stand in some dog shit and find a lump of gold.
Right, okay.
Wow.
They stand in some dog shit and find a lump of gold.
It might not have to be that PVB stands in dog shit and finds a lump of gold. It could be another character. I'm just thinking if there's this woman.
I reckon he gets an ally. I reckon someone's like, this happened to me as well. I'm convinced, like, he finds somebody en route.
Rishi Sunak.
No,
because he potentially is an alien in this.
I think he's got to meet him in, like, I think he's maybe a bit down. Everyone's calling him a nutter. And he's like...
He's got abuse online.
Yeah,
after
because that's what would happen
Rogan.
one day. Like, that's what would happen. These people... And he's been a bit like...
Have you...
He's finally on, like, the mainland. Maybe he's just in, like, a bar and he sees this person. This woman goes, I recognise you. And he's like, I've had enough of this. You know, like, you leave me alone. And she's like, no, I'm a big fan. And that's how she made... That's maybe how...
Yeah, I like that. And at this moment, obviously a few months forward in the story or whatever, he's also completely turned to drink.
Yeah.
And has really spiraled. He's kind of...
I like this.
Since he came to the mainland to share this message, he's now... and was kind of quite reserved and a bit nervous. Now he's just...
Society's affected him.
He's been swallowed up by the mainland, hasn't he?
Yeah,
He's been swallowed up.
He's been corrupted.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. It's like when they... like Amish, you know, you've seen that program, and they're like the Amish, like young kids.
Yeah, where they send the girls to go and have a good time for 2 years.
Yeah, they get them. You can like be part of the community or be part of normal society.
Yeah, you get ostracised, don't you? You get sent out, and then you can't come back. And but I think the thing is, like, obviously, there's been no aftercare from Joe Rogan as well. You know what I mean? He's just got him on the podcast.
Yeah,
absolutely ruined.
He gives him a 10% off on Squarespace.
with
Rogan.
But I do like this, right? So I like this. Is at his lowest point now. Is at his lowest point. Has he still got the robe on? Is the robe still on, but it's just loose, and like his knob's just sort of like wafting, and people are catching a glimpse of it everywhere he goes? What's happening there?
Yeah, so totally that vibe, and there's like, there's red wine stains on it, and there's dried milk on his chin, and he's propped up in the corner of this bar, and he's kind of discovered the world, but at the same time as discovering the world has also been rejected by the world, so is now just this... parody of himself almost, that just absolute ruin of a billionaire.
Maybe upon leaving this bar, he stands in dog shit and finds gold.
What about if the gold, it isn't physical gold, but it's like metaphorical gold? So he stands in dog shit, but then there's a clue. There's something which triggers something, or you know what I mean? Like he strikes gold, it's like, it's an idea.
Yeah. Maybe it's like a pen drive in there.
I like that.
And he plugs it in at home, and there's a message from this woman.
Fuck off, it says.
Going like, don't give up. Like, I've got some inside information. Meet me at this place.
You must be at your lowest point if you're finding a pen drive in dog shit, put it in your computer, and then listening to the message and being like, yes, this person, I need to find them. But I like it. What are you thinking?
There's QR code in the back.
I'm not sure if it's a pen drive in the poo. I think he stands in dog shit.
No, go on.
I think he stands. He's just.
It's all right.
He stands in dog shit.
I think he stands in dog shit, and I think the gold is evidence that the aliens are there. Like there's another piece of evidence.
No, I think he's got to meet someone. I think he's got to have a relationship. I think there's got to be a connection there to like drive the story along. I don't know.
My last offer to you, Patrick, before you take us on your way with the story. What about if he stands in dog shit, but there's something weird about it? It has a weird smell, or it has like a weird texture, or he stands on it and it glows. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's some element of proof there. It's like, because like you said that they're living amongst us.
What? Yeah. He goes, it's alien shit. That is alien shit.
He stands in it, doesn't put it on his hand, and still.
Yeah. Sniffs it and goes, yeah.
He's not got it in his hand though.
That is classic Uranus.
But it's not on his fingers.
But he's stood on it, wipes it on his shoe.
He hasn't even wiped it. He's just stood on it, and he's just done that with his hand.
There's no shit on his fingers. It's just the aroma.
He's just done it, and there's just something about it.
Yeah, that is alien shit. Yeah. Right, well, there you go.
Right, what do you think? I think it's getting out of control over here. So yeah,
it's time on his fingers. Go on, Patrick. Sorry, what are you thinking?
I like him stepping in the shit, and I like him realising this is not human shit.
Yeah, it's alien
through
shit.
Taste as much as steppage.
Yeah,
Right,
he goes when it steps in it, it makes a weird sound.
Yeah, then hang on a minute.
yeah. Breaks the skin. He goes, ooh.
Right, go on, yeah, so he tastes it, does he? Yeah.
Yeah, but I also like the idea of him finding someone to go on this journey with. So yeah, I'd like to incorporate that.
Well, what about it's the woman whose dog her dog's shit, right? He stepped in it. She isn't that far away, and his first thought was, "Hey, clean your mess up," because obviously he's at his lowest point at this point. He's like, "Clean your mess up." She turns around, she's beautiful, or she's like, they just lock eyes in a way where it's like, and then the next thing he does is obviously eat the dog shit in front of her, but she's not weirded out by it. You know what I mean, mate? Go on.
What if he looks at her and she's like obviously stunning, and he's like, she's the most beautiful we've ever seen, and maybe he finds out that she's one of them living among us, and we've taken the story away that he's trying to stop this momentum now to reveal them.
Yeah,
because he's found.
What? Just another little offer. What about if there isn't a woman there, but the dog isn't that far away? It's like a little Staffordshire Bull Terrier, you know, like in Men in Black.
That's what I was thinking. Men in Black. It's Men in Black theme. This story.
Yeah. So he stands in the dog shit, obviously tastes it, and then sees the dog taking a corner, and like he's chasing after it in the street. He's at his lowest point. People are like filming him, like his robes everywhere, and then he grabs this dog, puts it, like, takes it to a room and interrogates it, and it speaks.
You're desperate for him not to have a relationship.
No.
I like that idea.
No, I'm just throwing him out there, Patrick. It's your story. You're picking, but I like any offer.
Well, they could be shapeshifters as well,
potentially. But go on, Patrick. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I like the idea of a talking dog that shapeshifts as well.
That is so funny.
Yeah, and I like the interrogation because it's like as soon as he's ruined, and then he steps in the shit, tastes it, clocks the dog. This is his way back to acclaim. This is his finding his meaning in life. So yeah, he takes this dog and begins to interrogate it.
Does he?
Sorry, the image I've got in my head is he's sat this dog up on a chair, right? So it's like Belly's face. He's going, "Who are you?"
Really?
"Who are you?" And the dog doesn't speak, and he goes, he
hits the dog.
He hits the dog in the stomach, and he goes, he's just into this dog.
Leather in this dog.
Right. See, I didn't have the dog sat in the chair. I had the dog. He's put.
Enough.
The dog has got like collars around each of its paws.
Been
Right.
to a few festivals.
Yeah. And it's been suspended like that, right?
BDSM style.
But he's suspended by dog leads. Like, so he's hovering in the air. Yeah, big cross like that. And he's got, a big light on it in his garage. And that's, he's interrogating the dog. Yeah.
He's got the dog like that. He gets a bucket, puts a rat in it, puts it on its belly and starts heating.
Yeah, what is that off? What is that off?
It's a torture technique.
Yeah, that's on a film though.
Yeah. It's what's it in?
What is it?
He starts waterboarding.
Bad Boys. Bad Boys 2. That's what it's on. Yeah.
Because
it'll chew through you.
Yeah. It's horrific. Anyway, he's interrogating the dog one way or another. There's an interrogation. What information does he find, Patrick, about the dog? Does it shapeshift? Does it talk?
What breed are you?
Are you an XL bully?
I like the idea of him just taking the dog, and he wasn't convinced it was an alien. He just needed to let out some anger.
Right, yeah.
Well, and then it actually shapeshifts. It's like, fucking hell!
Do you want to act it out?
Well, yeah, I want to act it out. I would like to know. I just want to... Sorry, Patrick, keep interrupting. Go on. Tell me what you're thinking.
No, I mean, I love this idea.
Yeah.
The dog being beaten up.
Yeah, interrogated. Yeah. Through suspicion.
Yeah, totally. I feel like this interrogation could go on for hours and hours with every form of torture at his disposal, which is a lot because he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
And I think just at the point of giving up, the dog begins to speak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll tell you.
I think it changes into... Maybe that's when we bring in a connection to somebody, I think.
So is it transforming into an alien? Is this dog alien, or is this...
just got a voice.
Yeah.
Does it transform into a politician?
But some aliens look like us. There's all them there's the bright blonde haired aliens that are like beautiful. Like,
what's it?
I know a lot about aliens.
So what? Right. I think we've got it nailed down.
I've got it.
Go on.
Right. it does transform, and it transforms into an alien, and he's suspended like that, all battered, bloodied, and bruised, right?
But as an alien.
Yeah. And it looks at PVB and it goes, "Do you not remember me?"
All right.
Because
That was on the spaceship.
They said alien. That he's like, I recognise that chopper anywhere.
He's been using that as a weapon. Baseball bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Stop opening your mouth. Stop it.
You're not supposed to be enjoying this.
So yeah, I reckon he's there and he goes, should we act it out? Yeah.
Yeah, go on,
Okay.
go for it.
So you're PVB, right?
Okay.
And I'm a battered and bruised alien. Okay, being suspended by dog leads in a garage.
That's your kink, isn't it?
It is, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Right, so I go, fine.
Fine. Just been twatted for about an hour.
Right, I'll tell you.
Fine.
PVB, do you not remember me? All them years ago, the 7-year-old boy we took up into that spaceship has turned into a monster.
I'm going to need a cigarette for this.
Why are you telling the people our story?
I thought I'd never see you again.
We hoped we'd never see you again. We sent you back to Earth as a virtue of our kind nature.
Look, I didn't want to expose you. It's just, I thought this was the only way of getting back to you. And the truth is, that day on the ship, I caught feelings.
You caught feelings? You're a 7-year-old boy. Do you want to come back to space with us?
I want you to join me here on Earth.
I was, moments ago, as a small dog. And now I'm a shackled alien in a garage.
But I don't want us to live a lie. I'm already ridiculed by the world. What will they think if I'm dating a innocent French bulldog?
I would love it to be a small dog. Tiny dog.
Hang on, just to clarify, this is not a dog being suspended. This is an alien. Yeah, okay. I can understand your reluctancy to, be seen in public with a dog in a romantic sense.
I'm going to throw something in.
Go on, my arms are killing me.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking is, right, so essentially, he's caught an alien, hasn't he? A shape-shifting alien. At the moment, the world thinks this guy is an absolute maniac. No one believes him. Can he use the alien in some way to, I don't know, like in some way to either make him, what's the word? Convince people that he's safe. Exactly. Also, what was the last line, Patrick, that we were working towards? The red line.
So there she stood, naked as the day she was born, in the queue at a service station, upper crust.
Because we've got to get a woman or the shapeshifter.
Well, I've been trying to get a woman to this story for the past 25
Go on.
I think now, obviously, they're clear there's a connection between the two of them.
Right.
But obviously, all of the government at the minute are aliens, aren't we? We discovered that earlier.
Right.
The last thing they would want is for that to be revealed.
Yes.
So maybe there's maybe they've got to go on the run, but like get it out in some way because get the message out without being killed, because that's what would happen, wouldn't it? Like if the government were trying to stop you from revealing a big secret.
Well, this is the best point for them to be at, because he's been discredited completely. Government are like, no one listens to him, but now he's got that little bit of evidence, hasn't he?
I think he convinces the alien to make one roundabout takeoff.
For the world to see.
Yeah.
And then they go and live their life together, floating around on this roundabout.
Well, potentially, the roundabout could take off, and the girl in the queue, the alien could be like, do you think you were the only one we abducted? Do you not think there were others that we're trying to pass this message on to? So there could be a woman somewhere. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm just thinking, if you're looking for concrete evidence that there was aliens, I'd be saying, make one of the roundabouts take off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because that was his big thing, wasn't it?
Monogamy is not a thing on these planets either, is it? They just have multiple partners.
That happens on Earth as well. I reckon, though, that happens, and then I reckon there is a news report from, like, presenter being like, here we are in Solihull, and
I reckon. I feel like we're onto something here, but we're just missing something. Let's try a prompt.
Yeah,
I reckon we
good
pop a
idea.
prompt in. The last prompt that we're going to get, a yellow one. We'll see what this is, and then we'll try and bring it all together.
A dog began to follow them.
Yeah, because they'd be like, okay, let's get out of here. Then a dog is, as you has this dog been, have you seen this dog's been following us for about half an hour?
Right, okay. So the alien transforms back into a dog as they sort of walk around where they are at the moment.
I think it just transforms into a human.
Right, it transforms back into a human. Is
Yeah.
it like a pretty woman?
Pretty woman, pretty man, I don't mind. It's
But I'm just thinking if it's so that we get the woman element into
Yeah,
it.
I think it's a beautiful woman.
So PVB is like, right, I need you to transform back into a human,
Yeah.
take a form, and then what we saying this woman looks like?
I reckon the first woman appears and he goes, fitter. And she goes, appears and he goes, fitter. And she keeps appearing.
Bigger tits, tits.
He really objectifies us to the point where it's the alien's a bit like, all right, mate, fucking chill out.
But the thing is, in terms of the arc of the story, that's nice character development because obviously he's been corrupted by the world. Because obviously back when he was on his little island, he wouldn't have been thinking thoughts like that. So they walk out, they're outside of the garage. Where are they going? They're going to what roundabout? What is a famous roundabout?
Birmingham's full of roundabouts.
I'm thinking, let's say the roundabout is Buckingham Palace roundabout.
Right,
That
yeah.
fuck off one,
Yes.
right? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's what
Pull
caused a
down
lot
my
of
ass.
yeah.
Right. So I reckon they get there, right, and that this is the mothership, right, of spaceships. And at this point, we've got PVB who's talking to a little Frenchie with obviously all the public around being like, make it fucking take
No,
off.
it's just
No,
beautiful woman.
she's
sorry,
a beautiful woman now,
Okay,
isn't she?
beautiful
I
woman.
think there's been a whippet following them.
Right.
Okay. Gets there and says to the beautiful woman, he's like, look, this needs to take off now, right? And we can convince everyone that I am right. So this alien is obviously all keen for that. So climbs up the statue. Pretty sure Queen Victoria's on that statue.
Yeah.
But when she starts climbing, obviously gets a lot of media attention as well because they're thinking, what's this nutter doing?
Yeah.
People on the phones, have you seen this woman?
Yeah.
What's she doing?
Paps flooding round.
Paps start flooding round. Yeah.
Yeah.
Charles is looking out window.
Yeah, they're like, oh, she must hate Meghan.
Yeah. This is it.
Why did Megan do this? Megan caused this.
I reckon they get to the top of the Victoria statue, right, and gives like a little rub on the top of her crown, clockwise and then anti-clockwise. It's like 3 one way, 2 the other, and then
2 tweaks of the nips.
Yeah, with knuckles as well.
I think your head but a nose to start it.
And then the roundabout just starts to. There's this like you like that little sound effect going on, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, people are like, huh, tourists are running, right? And then this whole thing just. And
It just starts lifting.
Yeah. It's like it's got beautiful little LED light all around the bottom.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean?
What
Like
colours?
Multi.
Every colour.
Yeah, it's multicolour. Like, so yeah, it looks unreal, right? And it's coming up, and obviously like hair's going everywhere, leaves going everywhere, stalls are falling over. People are like, oh my god! And both of them are like essentially on the top of the spaceship, just to be like, we've done it. You know what I mean? Like this is absolutely fantastic. Now, does the spaceship get away, or do the government shut it down?
Well, I don't know where you shut down a spaceship unless you shot it down.
So it goes off then.
I don't know. What do you think, Patrick? At the moment, we've got a spaceship setting off on its way to.
Yeah, I think it takes off, but maybe they jump off the spaceship. Maybe the point is proven, but then they get to live their life together on it.
I like that.
Okay.
I do like that. So that it's been proven, but still there's that element of disbelief.
Yeah, I think. Because what's the last line again? Sorry.
It is. So there she stood, naked as the day she was born, in the queue at a service station up a crust.
So I think maybe they're like, listen, we're never going to get any peace ever again after this. So they fake blow up the spaceship,
Right.
and then they get separated. And it maybe ends in like a nice way of going, and he found her at a service station.
Naked.
Yeah.
Naked as the day she was
She
born.
wouldn't have any clue about dressing, would she? Because she's an alien. So
Yeah, I know, but she's been shit. She's been living amongst them, hasn't she? I just think
Yeah.
we really need. I think we can nail this little woman.
tie it up.
Yeah, to tie it up, just a like.
I think here's an option, right? Spaceship goes off, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And they're on it. Open a little hatch, get into the spaceship, right? And it starts flying off. And obviously, the alien's like, look, we've probably got a matter of minutes before we've got jets and fighters on us, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, they could set off another spaceship and shoot us down.
Yeah.
Right? You know, I think they're trying to head back to the island, right? And she's programmed it. So, like, look, they're going to shoot down the ship whether we're on it or not.
Yeah.
They eject from the ship, okay, somewhere over the south coast. Let's say Torquay,
Okay.
right?
Somewhere over the south coast.
Yeah. They're parachuting down, right? Okay. She's a shapeshifter, so she shapeshifted into
A parachute.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah, so he's just holding on to her, and they land, right? And I reckon at this point, shapeshifted back into a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I think they make love. First thing they do is make love when they land.
I think they're starving. I think they're absolutely Hank Marvin, and immediately look across the street, and there is an upper crust,
Right.
Nice.
and he walks across with her.
But why is she naked at this point? Because they've just made love.
They've just made passionate love. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Patrick? Let me throw it
Yeah.
back to you. Let me go on.
Yeah, I really like this idea. I like the making love when they land. This does give us a segue into the nudity.
Yeah. His
Could
robe at this point must be in absolute tatters. You know,
People take their clothes off when they make love. Is that everybody?
They could make,
Is that everybody? Is it?
yeah. Well, yeah, maybe they do. They land on like a secluded beach.
what about if they land and he lands on his back and she like lands just on top?
Yeah.
There's
And she-
massive
He's
penis.
got a massive dog there.
And she just sort of, obviously,
The penis
she
breaks the fall.
transformed. Yeah.
Penis breaks the
They
fall.
just land and they're just
Yeah.
two
Two become one.
Two become one.
Yeah.
And she can shapeshift to sort of fit whatever, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she shapeshifted into a consensual woman.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking?
Yes.
Yeah, I like it. Because also it makes sense, you know, if he does have this massive penile,
Yeah.
then she can shapeshift into someone capable of...
Yeah, that's why he's been struggling for love sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe he's thought this is just too.
She lands on it, he goes, that's why they call me PVB.
And I know how hard it is for someone like him.
Right. I am gonna
Now get off me and let me get you a fucking pasty.
No, but the thing is, this is an unbelievable visual. This is a mad visual. This. So obviously they land, two become one. Obviously he's never had sex with anybody before. Is obviously the power. The power, what's going to come out of him?
Yeah.
Like it's going to blow her off.
Yeah.
Scary movie.
And she lands in an upper crust.
Right. Yeah.
As naked as the day
That's
she was
funny.
born.
Yeah.
Just like, whoa.
Someone's in the upper crust like, I'll have that one. And then
Yeah.
she just comes through the roof. Yeah.
It's blew her 3
Yeah.
mile away
Have
into
you seen
upper
Scary
crust.
Movie where it happens in Scary Movie?
Oh, yeah. And yeah.
It's the wall.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
I love that.
Yeah. And just say the final line word for word so we can wrap it.
So there she stood, naked as the day she was born, in the queue at a service station upper crust.
That is good. I do that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I
I'm
enjoyed
happy with
that. Yeah.
Love that.
Patrick,
Perfect.
we got the
Just a little bit.
what a story. I had some good belly laughs in that, me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
The
funny.
image of that dog being interrogated, although very severe, like
Yeah.
the imagination ran wild there.
Yeah, but it was clear that it wasn't a dog, so that's why it was all right.
Just the
Yeah.
idea of a dog sitting upright and its little bellies, that, you know what I
My
mean?
dad was telling me he was in a cafe the other day, and a guy had his dog in with him, right, an American bulldog, and the old guy has his tea, and next to him the dog sits in the chair, right.
Knife and fork.
Yeah, but yeah, he gets his tea on a plate, and no one's bothered because obviously he's in there all the time. But
Would you be bothered if you were sat, like, what about this scenario? You're sat having a meal, but you're by yourself, like maybe it's just like a cafe. A dog comes and sits next to you and gets food and it's on a plate and it's just eating next to you. What would your reaction be?
if it was all knife and fork, mate, I'd be pretty,
No, it was just, you know.
right. Yeah,
Would you move?
I don't mind that. I don't think I'd bother.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I find it quite
How
cute.
would you find it?
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a dog lover, so
Yeah.
I'd rather that than a human that
Yeah.
I didn't know coming
Yeah,
to
would
sit
you
next
bother
to me.
about that?
I'm trying to think, like, if the restaurant was empty and it chose to sat next to me and ordered its food, I'd
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be like, why are you trying to intimidate me?
No, I love it. I think I know, like you walk down a street, you see a dog, and you're like, the owner pulls it away. You're like, that dog wanted me to stroke it, and you're like they look at me, yeah. They look at the eyes going,
D'Artagnan here.
They look at the eyes going, stroke me, and I'm like, I can't. Your owner won't let me.
Did you say D'Artagnan? That's funny.
Do you know what I mean? Like when you see a dog,
I do, yeah.
and like the dog like leans towards you, and they go no, and you're like, and I always go.
I literally had that walking here.
Yeah.
Walking through Lee, there was a dog that like stopped, and then his owner was like, "Ooh." So
Yeah.
like, oh.
The owner growled at you, not the dog.
Yeah, literally.
Like,
Normally I
love it.
say hello to them, but I was like,
The dog came and said, it was like the dog chose me.
So just because I needed to mention it, obviously me and Patrick, when we went to the toilet just then, on our way back up, we walked through a door and there was a guy pouring water into a bucket, but the way he was stood, you couldn't see that it was a kettle, and it looked like he was just pissing into a bucket outside. It was so
You were
good.
jealous.
yeah, I was like, I should have got me one of them.
So, Patrick, what do you think then this story is going to be called?
I think Abdickted.
Oh, there
So
we
good.
go.
So good.
We've got it.
Abdickted, yeah.
Abdickted works. Yeah, I like that. Patrick, how did you find being on the AllMadeUp sofa? How was your experience? Tell us what you thought.
It was great. This is loads of fun, and I loved watching it, and it's been just as much fun being part of it. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks very much. Which episodes have you watched? Just out of interest.
Well, I've watched all the ones my friends are on.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Jacob's, Harriet's, Gareth's.
Which did you prefer?
Garrison too, wasn't
Oh, Gareth's.
Well, that's tough because they were all great in their own way.
Yeah.
he? You can tell them
So if
after.
you was picking one, go on.
Well, if I was like, I don't know. I did really like Harriet's because it was so simple. If you remember, she was the
the mint factory.
Mint Factory.
the
Yeah.
mint
Yeah.
factory.
I love
and
that
I was
episode,
like,
though.
I was a dad.
Yeah.
And that was a mum.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mad. All the stories are so different. Harriet's did very well though.
Jacobs was really good though. With the Vatican football
Yeah,
competition.
my dad enjoyed that.
Yeah.
this is like Jacob's bread and butter. This kind of thing as well.
But what I was going to say on a different note is, Patrick, obviously, me and Clem still talk about the stuff we made together at uni with when you featured as Patrice. And just
I've
a
seen
side
that.
note, we would love to get you on one of our projects, acting in it, if you would be up for it.
I would be more than up for it. It was
Yeah.
honestly one of the best things I've done working with you guys.
Yeah, well, because Clem was supposed to be here tonight because she wanted to come and see you, but she's had to teach yoga tonight, so she's gutted that she hasn't seen you.
Oh, yeah, I miss you, Clem. I was hoping you'd be here.
I'll have to get you back, mate. I'll have to get you back in another episode.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah, we'd love to have you back on.
Yeah.
The sequel, yeah, the sequel. But yeah, do you want to wrap it up, Harry?
Yes. So thank you very much for coming on.
Where can people find you? Do you want to be found?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on Instagram and Twitter.
For your
And
tarot card stuff, thinking about that?
I don't do my tarot on social media
Right.
just because, in a very modest way, I don't need more customers or anything at the moment. With
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I'm
fair
kind
enough.
of
You're full.
full smack capacity, and like I say, because it's regulars and stuff, you have to.
Yeah.
allow time for that.
Just like obviously we are going to be doing like Patreon content and stuff like that. Would you ever consider like doing like a tarot reading with us? Is that something you'd be open to?
Oh yeah, totally.
'Cause
I'm
I think
always
that-
open to.
I think
I
that
love
would be
that.
quite fun.
Yeah.
If we could do that, like obviously it's behind a paywall.
One of you will have a successful podcast.
yeah. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, you could even do an all-made-up story with the cards. Like
That
they could
would be
dictate
superb. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're up for that and coming on and doing that, I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, right.
It's just the most revealing podcast ever. It's talks about ourselves and we're like, God.
But obviously,
I didn't know what anyone knew about that.
what would be so good about that is if we did have like a situation where we had the character and we was revealing tarot cards to sort of assist with the character building for like we're not using the prompt cards, we're using the tarot to sort of build the narrative.
Yeah.
A nice little like cross contamination, a tarot and the AllMadeUp pod.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the studio's haunted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll have a Ouija board just for good measure as well.
In a pizza box.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up as well.
Sorry,
This
yeah.
has been AllMadeUp with Patrick Price. Thank you once again for coming.
Thank you.
Hope you've enjoyed it.
It's all